Our goal for our community builder volunteers is to relationally connect with students in organic fashion. We're going to place you in environments that are not overly structured and encourage you to engage students relationally and allow them to invite you to speak into their lives. We ask that as you prepare to build relationships with these students on Sunday night, that you would accept or decline your Planning Center invitation, that you would pray and prepare your hearts, and that you would also take the time to relationally connect with students throughout the week, whether through text message, postcard, or other interactions, so that it feeds better into your Sunday night interactions that you're gonna have as you develop relationships with students. The Ridge uses this whole campus. So the truth is, of where you're gonna be located is dependent on what you're doing. And so you will be various different locations throughout the course of the evening, but ultimately and always with students. One of our expectations for the Ridge and life group leaders is that you will be relational, not just here at the Ridge, but outside of our church walls. We believe that our ministry is built on the relationships of life group leaders and adults and volunteers and students. Being a part of their lives and journeying with them, not just here on Sunday night, but throughout everyday life, is so vital to their discipleship and processing their faith. Another expectation that we have for our life group leaders is to be an example. This means in the way that you carry yourself, the way that you interact with students, and even what you share with them. We would ask that you would hold sensitivity, recognizing that you are not just representing yourself, but also Southridge Community Church and what it means to be a life group leader to your students. We recognize that life is crazy and chaotic, but we do ask that you would show a level of sensitivity, recognizing that a lot of students are looking up to you and wanting to be like you. So keep that in mind when posting to social media, interacting in conversation, and other areas of our lives as you are an example to students. Another expectation we have for our life group leaders is to be prepared. We work very hard to prepare you guys for Sunday nights. And so we're gonna send you a weekly Planning Center email that will share information, descriptions about the lesson, and more content that will help prepare you for Sunday night. Please read that email and make sure that you are accepting or declining your Planning Center invitation. We understand that as a life group leader, you're going to be a part of conversations with students all the time. And in those conversations, it can be challenging to navigate, is this something that I need to go seek help or wisdom on? And so we've created a system called red, yellow, and green flags. I want to share that with you to give you some suggestions and ideas to better understand how to deal with a conversation that could be difficult or challenging when dealing with a student. A red flag conversation is something that immediately after finishing with the student, you need to come and have a conversation with John Ciata or another staff member because it may present a safety or liability concern to the student. This could include things like causing harms to oneself, signs of abuse, suicidal thoughts or actions, potentially some phrases like, I have no hope, or no one would miss me if I was gone. A yellow flag conversation is one that after finishing, you may want to find John Ciata at some point and connect with him about what you discussed. It may not need to be pressing in nature, but it still is something that would be helpful for him to be aware of. Some of the examples for this would be a student struggling with depression, being bullied, someone who is addicted or struggling with a pornography addiction, someone who is walking through a divorce and the student is experiencing some of the ramifications and challenges that causes. The last flag is green flags. This is basically go on as normal, no need to share with John because there's no significant concern to the student's liability or safety. Some examples of this could be, I broke up with my boyfriend or girlfriend, struggling with authority at school, personal challenges within their faith, problems with their schoolwork or grades, and many, many more. We understand that navigating these conversations do require a level of discernment in which flag or area it falls into. I would just encourage you, if you ever have any questions, reach out and say, hey John, I don't know exactly where this falls, but can we process this together? Our goal is to keep students safe while maintaining their trust as we lovingly care and interact with them through the gospel. We want to keep you and students safe, and so we have some different rules that apply to boundaries of discipleship. We strongly believe that it is best suited for male-to-male discipleship and female-to-female discipleship. We have specifically recruited volunteers to oversee life groups with the same gender to prohibit any potentially concerning or challenging scenarios. If a student of the opposite sex asks you, hey, can we go out to coffee, or can we interact on this level, or can you disciple me? The best way to respond is, you know what, I think it'd be best if you connect with your life group leader or have a conversation with another adult, female or male, depending on their gender. We live in a crazy world, and our goal out of this is to keep you safe, but also to protect from any potentially challenging situations that you could find yourself in. This is a non-negotiable in any area and needs to be followed to the utmost level. In case of an emergency, we want you to know that we have campus maps and some safety guidelines posted by the doors of your classroom. This will ensure that you can exit the building or have further instruction on how to handle different emergency situations. We do seek to train throughout the year to better equip you and students in how to interact in an emergency situation. But regardless, in that moment, we make sure that you're equipped with the necessary instructions posted by the exit doors. Remember, as a community builder, you are developing relationships organically. Give some space to students to build relationships and to do what they want and to be students, to process, to have conversations. That might mean that you're playing a board game one night with a student and you're doing video games the next. It doesn't change that you're relationally connecting and seeking opportunities to speak into their lives. Remember, as a part of the Ridge, and more importantly, as a part of students' lives, you're a critical part of their discipleship. Being a friend, a colleague, a mentor, and ultimately a brother and sister in Christ is an indescribable asset and benefit to them in their spiritual life.